all together. And if I can ask Arti to unmute yourself. Arti, I'll try to unmute you.
Okay, I'm on mute.
And SMITA, welcome back.
Welcome. Thank you.
Lovely to see you back.
Hi, Swimming.
Thank you. Welcome.
Hi, everybody. I'm Arti from Arti's Kitchen. Hope everybody's having a good day. It's nice, beautiful day here in Georgia today. It's 79 degrees and a lot of sunshine. And I'm going to get ready to make this dish for you. I'm making kale, methi, and zucchini muthiya for you. So if the men are watching, please make sure you cook for your wives. If the wives are watching, please make sure you cook for your husbands, okay? So let's get started. The ingredients I'm going to be using is chickpea flour, soji, some crushed zucchini, crushed methi leaves, crushed kale, salt, some lemon juice. Can you all see it?
Mm-hmm.
Some oil, olive oil, some coconut sugar, coriander powder, some turmeric, sesame seeds, and some ginger, garlic, and chili paste. First, I'm going to add the zucchini to the bowl. And SMITA Ben will explain the benefits of all the ingredients I'm adding. So SMITA Ben, go ahead.
Yeah, so Arti is making the muthiyas first, and with the chana flour, it is heavy and dry, so everything in moderation, obviously. The elements of that is the air and the earth. So air is very spacey, it's airy, it's very erratic. So being very careful with that, but it's also very grounding because it has the earth element in it. If those of you that have done Ayurveda, it pacifies the pitta and the kapha, but it does aggravate vata because of the air element in it. The chickpea flour is very high in protein. It is insoluble fiber. It has vitamins A, B, and K in it. She's adding the zucchini in there. Zucchini is obviously sweet in nature, but it's also bitter and pungent and astringent in nature. And then the kale is very extractive. So kale is very extractive. Any hardy greens, dark greens are very extractive, and they have the most nutrients and the minerals in there. Go ahead, Arti.
Okay, the next ingredients, I mixed all the green stuff together. I'm gonna add the salt to it, some lemon juice.
Mm-hmm. And those of you that are pitta imbalanced, instead of lemon juice, you can also substitute that for lime. Lemon is very acidic. Lime.
Actually, it's lime. I'm sorry, it's green lime.
Lime juice, okay.
Yeah. Some coriander powder.
Very great digestive aid.
Some turmeric.
Okay, obviously anti-inflammatory, purifies your blood.
Some coconut sugar, that's optional.
Mm-hmm.
The ginger, garlic, and chili paste. The garlic I've used in moderation. There's more ginger and more chilies.
Yes, and that's really wonderful because garlic is very rajasic. It's very stimulating.
I'm gonna mix all these ingredients together. Usually when I'm making it, I will mix all these ingredients in here and let it sit for like 10 minutes so they marinate well.
And another thing that she can also add in there is some fennel seeds. So if you have any fennel seeds, ground them. They're a great digestive aid and helps to also break down some of that chickpea flour that when you're digesting, it's not so hard and constipated.
After that, I'm going to add the 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And this has been bought from SMITA Ben's store. Pure
Yes.
olive oil.
Antioxidants, anti-inflammatory, yes.
There we go.
Unsaturated.
Now I'm going to add in the chickpea flour. It's like a cup of chickpea flour.
And sometimes you can also add half of the chickpea flour with roasted oats. That would also make a great, great dish for the mutiyas.
Okay, and then I'm adding the half a cup of soji, semolina.
Okay. So let's talk about semolina. It has the earth element. It's also very grounding and stabilizing. And with the semolina, if you want to, you can go ahead and roast it. So you can actually reduce the allergens and glutamine when you're roasting it.
Okay, and after that, I'm going to add a little bit of water just to bind it. You don't want to add too much water because the zucchini will release some water too.
Mm-hmm. It's really grounding and stabilizing. The whole dish here is about strengthening the immunity and rejuvenating. If you notice, she didn't use too much sugar. She didn't use too much oil. She didn't use, any of the junky stuff. So it's really, really powerful. And adding fenugreek was great. It stabilizes your sugars as well. So when we're doing Ayurvedic meals, so you use the augmenting and extracting method. Augmenting basically is any of the tastes that build your tissues. And by that, I mean sweet, sour, salty. And extracting is basically just that. It's extractive, right? So anything that helps you break down the healthier fats and eliminate out of your system. So you use a 60-40 method, and that's exactly what she's got there. Chickpea flour is also considered a little bit sweet, but then she's got also the extractive, which was in the kale and the methi, but she also had the sweet in the zucchini. So she's using an augmenting and extracting method at this point, which is very helpful to break down any of the healthier fats. Also helps to break down the chickpea flour in a little better way, because chickpea flour is very hard to digest also sometimes. Just depends on your body type.
Gonna make little balls here and then put it in the steam pot. And we're gonna steam it for like about 20 minutes. Anybody hungry yet?
Oh, trying to eat.
Well, all the bubbies better start making some cha.
Already here.
All the brothers.
Well, I'm up here in north, and it's still snowing outside, so I want to come back to in the hot weather. Yeah.
We got a contrast between snow and sunny weather.
Yeah, look at that. All right. Sorry, I'm gonna have to wipe my hands out a little bit. And then I'm gonna garnish it with some sesame seeds.
Another digestive aid that she's adding on top. Again, she can also add some fennel seeds if you want. Those of you that are taking notes, you can add that also.
We'll have this recipe posted by tomorrow, hopefully, right, Sunamai?
Yep, will be part of the video.
Okay, and I'm gonna steam this for like 20 minutes, and then we'll be back. So if you guys want to go back to your chatting.
So steaming.
Actually, wait.
Yeah, so steaming, what she's doing right there, steaming actually holds all the nutrients. She's not frying and she's not sauteing it with a lot of grease in there. So she's actually holding all the nutrients while she's steaming.
I do have one more surprise item if anybody is ready for it. So with the kale.
Are you on holidays, Smita?
I'm here visiting my daughter. I haven't seen her in 10 weeks, so I had to come and see my daughter. She's in medical
And
school.
whereabout is that?
She's in College of Medicine in Pennsylvania, Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Oh,
Well,
Pennsylvania.
what's
That's
in the background? Is there like snow? A lot
yeah,
of snow?
snow, yeah.
Yeah, it's snow. So.
Pennsylvania.
It's always nice to come and see the kids, you know. It's I haven't seen her for a while, so I'm enjoying being with her.
Oh, that's very nice. Yeah.
And she wants mom to cook everything and leave it for her. So I've been busy in the kitchen.
That was the main part. That was the main part.
Yeah.
Good.
I do have one more item. I'm making kale and methi debra. Actually, they call it pura. So I did
Pura.
make the batter earlier for you. This has like a cup of jowar flour, that's sorghum flour, a cup of chana flour, some tomatoes, garlic, not garlic, ginger, green chilies, salt, and a little bit of coconut sugar and water. You can add yogurt to it instead of tomatoes, but I added tomatoes because my daughter likes the tomato texture. I'll be making this for you. This is just one more item I thought I'd add on today.
The sorghum is really powerful for your brain. Sorghum is also an earth and air element, but everything in moderation again, you know, because of the air element, those of you that are vata types, body types, have to make sure that they use that in moderation. It actually, sorghum is really great for fortifying your bones. You know, it has a lot of calcium, potassium. Those of you that are in renal failure, kidney dialysis, those kind of things need to use this in very moderation because of the potassium content in there. Okay. It also
Thank
has
you.
very high in protein. I'm sorry, Sunila.
No, carry on. I was just saying thank you.
Okay.
So when my mom does this debras, she uses this, the ladle, to like spread it around, but I still can't do it as good as her. So I have a foil paper that's, you know, folded into a triangle, and then I just use this to spread it into a circle. You guys can do that. I still haven't learned. My mom tries, but I guess I really don't want to learn.
And what Arti has, once the puras are done, you can also make it into a really nice salad kind of pizza on there. So you could put arugula on there. You can put some pine nuts on top. If you like fresh burrata cheese, which is not processed, you could do that also on top. So that would be a really nice, you know, like a brunch, you know, breakfast, lunch kind of a meal that you can do a really nice salad on top.
Thank you.
This guy's refusing to come up.
Arti, are you continuing or should we?
Yeah,
make
you
some
guys carry
questions?
on with your chat, and then I'll make a few, and then we'll be ready to do the presentation.
Okay.
If
Would you
anybody
like,
has any questions for Smita, Ben, because she'll be leaving soon.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Would
I'm
you
very
like to
bad
take
at
some
answering,
questions?
so might as well ask her.
Shall we take some questions now while we have Smita here? Would you like to ask a question to Smita while she's here? Anybody?
Yes. The element sorghum you're talking about?
Yes. So sorghum, the earth, it's an earth element, which is kapha, and the air element, which is vata.
But what is the Gujarati word for sorghum?
Sorghum is jowar.
Jowar. Okay.
Jowar, yeah. But it's really great for your brain health. So, you know, feeding that even to the kids at night before they go to school, it's really, it's a really great brain food. Yeah.
Thank you.
Smita, between chana flour and chickpea flour, there are two differences, isn't it? Are they both in the same value?
No, they're the same. Chickpea flour and chana flour, it's the same. It's garbanzo, right? We're talking about garbanzo flour.
Yeah.
So both of them are the same, and but it's very constipative. So you've got to, when you're cooking chana flour, you've got to cook it right the way through, all the way through, and it has to be cooked.
Isn't it high in potassium?
It is. It's high in, but that's why I'm saying it's everything to be used in moderation.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, not overdoing it because it can be It can give you a stomach ache. It can, give you a digestive issue also. So just making sure that you're using the healing spices. If you're using ajwain, you can use ajwain. She used hing in this particular case. So she's pretty good on doing what she was doing with the hing to release some of those gases.
Yeah. What about if you substituted mung dal flour?
You can do mung dal flour.
Yeah.
That's a little bit less gassy.
Yeah.
You can substitute it with whatever
You can, yeah,
want to
even like I
but
said, you can
everything
do
in moderation.
exactly, and you can do oats with it too. So
Yeah, I do. With putla,
Yeah,
I
and
do oats.
but making sure that you're roasting it before you cook it. So Arti had already roasted before she cooked.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
roasted
roasting it,
the semolina too, the roll.
right. So it takes away some of that gluten issues and it takes away some of that glutamine that's in there. So you want to make sure that you're roasting a little bit before you start cooking it.
Thank you.
Thank you. One more question.
Hi, Smita Ben.
Hi, Rita Ben, how are you? Namaste.
Hi, namaste. I just want to find out the sorghum, the jowar flour, how much it is good for a diabetic.
It's a slow release on, it's a complex carbs, right? So complex carbs, it's a slow release on the sugar. So your sugars are not, after eating, it's not going to spike in an hour. It'll be a slow release. So it's energy for long term.
So like, to switch wheat flour to sorghum, say a couple of times in a week for my husband, is that good enough?
So if you're making, you can mix it with wheat flour. Wheat is really good for our body, right? So it's a comfort food. It sticks to your ribs, so it makes you feel good. But it also gives us what we need as far as ojas. So wheat does that. You can switch half and half with wheat and jowar nalort. You can do it with a little bit of rice flour if you wanted. You can switch it with different flours. Millet, any kind of millet flours are good.
Okay.
Yeah. Any kind of millet flours, because those are all slow releases on sugar.
Slowly, right.
Yeah, green millet. I think we get those at the Indian stores also. But any of the millets, you can do any kind.
Right.
Any kind of grains. Job's tears is another great
Dry
one.
millet sometimes in place of rice with any curry or dal or something, those millet which
You can
come-
use Job's tears instead of rice. Job's tears is an ancient grain. It's named Job's tears after the biblical character Job. That's a really powerful grain for diabetes, also for cancer patients.
Okay.
I'm sorry?
I haven't heard about it. Maybe I'll text
Yeah,
you.
if you can get it on Amazon. I mean, I sell that in the store, but you can get it on Amazon. Yes. My cancer patients are using it right now. So all my clients that are, going under treatment for cancer, instead of rice, we're using Job's.
Okay, that's good to hear. Yeah.
And
How
it's
do you
spelled
spell it?
Jobs. Jobs. Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
One more last question. Hansa Ben, you want to ask a question? You're on mute.
So I think what we need to, so today, last time, I think I talked about the sweet, sour, salty, bitter, pungent, and astringent taste. Let's talk a little bit about augmenting and extracting taste today. So augmenting has to be 60% of your plate. So when you're plating, it has to be 60-40 on the ratio. So 60% sweet, sour, salty. And by sweet, I don't mean sugary stuff. By sweet, it could be a sweet potato. It could be rice. But rice with khichdi, with the mung dal, so that's an augmenting extracting. So when you use your rice, let's say you have 1 cup of rice, then you have 3/4 cup of, or half a cup of mung dal. That's a 60-40 ratio there that you can use in an augmenting extracting. Basically, you want to have an augmenting extracting plate every single time you eat so that you can break down the healthier fats and eliminate what you need to eliminate. Bitter, pungent, and astringent tastes are extractive tastes. We talked about the 6 tastes the last time. So sweet, sour, salty are augmenting, bitter, pungent, astringent are extractive. That's how you need to plate 60-40. and that's your proportion. And you know, you don't have to then worry about being a Vata, Pitta, or Kapha, a Vat, Pitta, Kapha. This would be tridoshic because we have extended families we live with, so it's an easier way to cook. Does that make sense?
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I have a question. For SMITA, is it SMITA Daya?
Yeah,
Yes.
Smita.
Are you from Lusaka?
I'm from Lusaka. I was born and raised in Lusaka. I left Zambia in 1976 and went to England.
Okay.
My dad had a store in Northmead Stores, Shantilal Patel. My mom is Savita Ben,
Okay.
and I have two sisters, and my brother passed away in 1996. I have two sisters. I have an older sister, Nita, and a younger sister, Hema.
Okay. And did you live on
We lived on Burma Road,
Burma Road? Okay.
right next to Paresh. You know Paresh? Paresh and do you know Ratu Mama? We were right next to Ratu Mama's house.
And the
Fine Art
cross.
Studio.
Yeah,
Standard grocers के साथ.
Fine Art Studio, right?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Paresh Fashions,
because,
he was the first house in our, and then we were the third house.
Okay, because when I looked at your last name, Daya, I thought we used to live on Lumumba. We still live on Lumumba. House is still there though. Lumumba
Yeah, no,
Road.
that's, yeah, and so my husband is from South Africa, and in South Africa, they take their dad's last name.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so the Daya comes from my father-in-law's name,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Because I knew somebody who her first name was Damayanti, and her father used to live right across from our house, and it was the last name Daya too. But
Mhm.
there were three or
Smita?
four sisters, you know.
Smita,
Yes.
can I ask you a question, please?
Yes, go ahead.
Just go ahead, Kishore.
Your dad had a shop in Northmead, right? Shantabai. My dad used to do your accounts.
Oh, really?
Shantubai's accounts were all done by my dad.
Oh, my goodness, small world, yeah.
Yes.
What's your dad's name? What was your dad's?
Gokarbai.
Gokarbai, yes, yes,
And
yes.
Shantubai is Atukaka's brother,
Yes, yes.
right? And he used to live next to P. Das and Standard Grocery.
Yes,
and all that.
Pitas was next door to us, correct.
Until you mentioned Shantubai at
Just join Arti to finish off.
Finishing off for you guys. You guys see?
Oh, nice.
Okay.
So you can have them steamed. This is what they look like when they come out.
Mhm.
You can cut them into small pieces and pour some oil over it. Now, this oil here is from Sumiben shop again. It's the dill infused olive oil, and I really love it on the muthiyas. I've always used it, and it's an excellent
It's a
olive
great
oil.
option. It's unsaturated fat. So when you're doing your macros and you're doing your carbs, proteins, and fats, that's a really good unsaturated fat.
And I did a vagar on one of the batches, and this has fenugreek seeds in it, some sesame
good
seeds,
idea.
and some mustard, and some coconut in it.
Wonderful.
You can have it that way with
Delicious.
some stuff. And the other way I've done it is just shallow fried them. I mean, this is like the junky option, but you can do that if you like to. If you want to have, treat yourself with some junk one day, then you can shallow fry them and just make them into little.
Arti,
Yes.
quick question.
Arti,
Yes.
you make wonderful food, so it's good.
Thank you.
It's all
Very
good.
Arti, I had a
I
quick
have to
question for
specify
you.
when it's
Arti.
junk, right?
Satish has got a question for you.
Yes.
આ ઝૂમમાં ટેસ્ટનું બટન ક્યાં છે?
You all have to fly over here.
Imagination,
I know,
imagination.
imagination.
It looks lovely, that's
I mean,
why.
I'll enjoy them for you guys. I mean, there's plenty here, but please come over. Catch the
Sounds
next
like a
flight.
plan.
Make sure you test COVID negative, okay?
Vaccinated. Both doses
Make
done.
sure
Vaccinated here too.
vaccinated and then
Yep.
make sure you're COVID-free.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're not allowed. Hopefully one day we can make it, we can have a little get together one day. Okay, let's just all pray.
It'll happen.
It'll
How much
happen.
I
it
know.
is.
Well, I
It'll
hope you all
happen.
enjoyed this session.
Lovely.
And of course, I forgot the Debras.
There you go.
Very good, very nice.
Lovely. Nice.
Can I ask you, is
I
Arti,
make the Debra so often, but I never use Kale, but this is a good idea.
It's a great
Yeah.
option. Yeah. to
Great
always have
option.
Once in a
extra.
while, you can do it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Arti,
All
are
right,
you?
guys, thank you for watching. And I guess we can move over. Thanks, Mita Ben.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Smita and Arti.